Okay, it is officially time for the next A to Z rework my thoughts changes, whatever the heck you wanna call it, except for stupid. Ekko, the boy who shattered time. Overview, magic style, much more ability over attack. This is true. Difficulty 3. This is true. Now this is where things become stupid. Mobility 3. Very true and stupid. Damage 3. Reasonable and good. Toughness is 2. Shouldn't be. Crowd control is 2. Reasonable. Okay, a prodigy from the rough streets of Zon, Ekko manipulates time to twist any situation to his advantage. Using his own invention, the Zero Drive, he explores the branching possibilities of reality to craft the perfect moment. Though he reveals in this freedom when there's a threat to his friends, he'll do anything to defend them. To outsiders, Ekko seems to achieve the impossible the first time every time. Why did I click that? Legitimately, I have no idea why I clicked that. Okay, we start with his passive, the Z-Drive Resonance. Ekko Z-Drive charges his spells and attacks with temporal energy. The third hit deals bonus damage, and if the target is a champion, Ekko gains accelerated movement speed. Time Winder. Ekko throws a temporal grenade that expands into a time distortion field upon hitting an enemy champion, slowing and damaging anyone caught inside after delay. The grenade rewinds back to Ekko, dealing damage on its return. Parallel convergence. Ekko splits the timeline, creating an anomaly after a few seconds that slows enemies caught inside. If Ekko enters the anomaly, he gains shield and triggers a detonation, stunning enemies by suspending them in time. Phase Dive. Ekko rolls evasively while charging up his Z-Drive. His next attack deals bonus damage and warps reality, teleporting him to his target. Time and reality are two different things. Chrono Break. Ekko shatters his timeline, becoming untargetable and rewinding to a more favorable point in time. He returns to whenever he was a few seconds ago and heals for a percentage of the damage received in that duration. Enemies near his arrival zone take massive damage. Ekko is dumb. Ekko is dumb. As I said, his toughness level is what I think is the main problem with the shield on his W, more than anything else. I think his mobility is a bit of a problem, and how well he can survive is also very annoying, especially when he can jump into a fight, kill someone, and then get the heck out real fast. Now, he can honestly be one-shot pretty easily very late into the game by other assassins, but he still has his ult no matter what. Well, except for the part of, like, CC, because if he is CC'd, he cannot ult. But still. So, I'm going to go through each ability, I'm going to do my regular thing, the Z-Drive Resonance. I don't like the way the damage works. I wish it was pure auto attack over anything else, because his Q also works with this. Like, as you get that right there, and then the second hit also applies a stack. So then it just becomes 3 auto attacks. I wish it was legitimately 3 auto attacks does the burst, but he gains movement speed in all situations. He gains bonus movement speed if it is an enemy champion type deal. Because, honestly, Ekko is really sticky, and I think this should be much more of, like, a solo killing ability over a, over being more of, like, a dive into the enemy team kill ability. Because you could actually use this by, like, Eing in, Qing auto attack, and then your E comes back, doing a ton of total damage. Especially if you're using, like, your W and everything, too. His Q, I find it to be an okay base ability, Time Winder. I think that honestly it is okay. It doesn't do too much damage. The slow of it is, I'd say, a bit too high. I'd lower the slow. The reason is because, like, in this, you can't see Ekko move, and it comes straight back to him. If Ekko moved with you, he could get that into you with extreme ease. Which is why I think that the slow should be a little bit smaller. I think currently it's closer to like 60% or something like that, and I think it should be more like 50 to 40. And I think that that's really the only thing that needs to be changed with his Q. It is an okay ability. It does, as I said, like reasonable amount of damage. The only thing the problem is the slow on it. The W, this is where I think things are stupid. So honestly, yet again, it is Ekko does require a decent amount of skill to play. His first two, like his passive and his Q, don't need all that much, but then from here on out is when it actually requires a good amount of skill, such as his W. Because he marks a point, and I think it's 2 or 3 seconds later is when it actually becomes the area. Like, 1, 2. So it really kind of depends. After, like, it is a short delay, then slows the enemies caught inside whether he activates or not, and that's like what I think the problem is. That and the shield he gains from being inside of it is a bit stupid. Like the size of it is so large. Bam. Like you can't see it, but he has a large shield. I'm fine with him, doing the whatever the heck it's called, doing like that, and smacking the ball, landing it there, and then the area becomes like time shifted like that. But I don't like the fact that it stuns upon him walking inside of it. Nor do I really like the fact that he gets a big shield from doing it. I think it should pick one or the other and not have both. I don't think it should slow just on its own. I think that the point of it should be to get someone inside of it and nothing really else. If, yet again, as I said, it should just pick one or the other. It should either stun everyone that's inside of it upon him walking in, or it should purely give him a shield and nothing else. The reason I think this is because there's been so many times where I'll have like 3 teammates in there, he'll stun them all, and then he'll get a giant shield, and he'll be able to just whack away at people, and even when they become unstunned, the most they can do is just peel. Because of the shield that he has, like, they're going to hit him, but they're not going to do enough damage to break through the shield and kill him. And then there's also the times where I think that it's stupid with the shield, how the shield will always come if he walks inside, whether he stuns someone or not. And because of this, there's been a lot of times where I'll see an Ekko hit his W trying to dive me, but you can hear the sound of him using it and you can see the circle. So I heard it and I walked away. Like he walked back thinking he was outside of like my out of sight of vision of like war, whatever the heck it's called, the shadow of war, fog of war. Thinking he was in fog of war and that I wouldn't be able to hear him, but then I did hear it, so I backed up. His W landed, and then I started walking back in. But then what he ended up doing was I wouldn't have made it into like the actual circle, but he ended up walking inside of it with his E, gaining the shield, and then diving me. Because, his E allows you to teleport. And then from there, it was just like, okay, thank you very much. And I hit him back for diving me, but the damage I did went straight to the shield, and he had no actual damage to his health bar, and he chunked me for, a third of mine. Because, his E does bonus damage, plus he has his Q and his passive, so he just chunks ya. Then his E, phase dive. So he tactically rolls and then he smacks you by teleporting. Now, I don't like the fact that like it describes it as warps reality right here. like bonus damage and warps reality, teleporting him to his target. Warping reality is so much different than changing time. Like, reality and time are completely different in every way, shape, and form. And I understand, like, yeah, if you had a time machine, maybe you'd have the technology to warp reality too, but his big thing is time. He shouldn't be able to just warp reality. What else though? I think that yes, it should do bonus damage upon him, like walking into you, or like upon his next auto attack. But I do not think he should be able to teleport. Honestly, like a dash and a blink. Like, come on, a dash and a blink in a single thing, and it's technically point and click. So like, you literally have two mobility abilities in one ability plus increased damage. Like that's too much. I think that what if we combined everything I just said, it might be a bit too much of a nerf. So if I would, what the end result would be of what I'm saying is, because you shouldn't do every nerf. This is a nerf per ability. The overall, I would keep the passive the way it is currently, I'd like including your abilities hitting him and all. And I would keep your Q the way it is, but I would do the changes that I say with his W and his E. I think his E should be that he rolls, and then he gains a burst of movement speed. And then, his next auto attack does more damage after that. I think that his Q, still do the slow and everything. His W, though, will like either pick one, it will either stun the target that's inside of it, or it will shield him. Or maybe, we can do something a little bit differently where it depends, where you always get the stun inside of it, but unless there are two or more enemy champions inside of it, it will not stun. Something like that. So that way, if you're fighting him solo, it's not as big of a problem. Now, he'll still get the shield and everything, but still. And then I was saying his E would just dash, and then he'll gain movement speed. Now, his alt, as much as I hate it, I do think it's okay. I think that the damage that kind of happens from landing it is not the brightest thing in the world, but honestly, landing his alt for like the damage is a lot more difficult than you'd really think. um and it's much more used as an escape route after a one-shot or a failed one-shot than anything else. And honestly, I think that the ability should stay the way it is, just because of it's more of a utility for himself than anything else. Yes, it does damage, but the main point of it is just dive their team. Whether you fail or succeed, you got to get out, and that's your out key. Like, as I said before, I don't think assassins should have a high chance of killing and surviving, as my one what's it called? My one friend said, like, that's what assassins are. I would honestly, I disagree. I think that they should have a more likely chance of diving and dying after getting a kill. Like, they have a guaranteed kill, but then they're likely to die afterward. I think that's much more of an assassin, because that's kind of what an assassin is. And I think that, yes, they should have a chance of surviving, but I don't think it should be like a foolproof, easy way out. I don't think assassins should have a ton of mobility in this sense. But Ekko's one, with him, it's really his only way out. Honestly, is his alt. He can use his like E and so on and so forth for in other situations, but mostly his alt is his number one way out, and because it is his alt is why like I'm fully accepting of it. And also because just like Even if he can actually pull like some pretty good plays from not using his alt and then ending up like rewind into their team for like a second time. But as I was saying before, I think like the main point is that they really just need to lower his toughness and his crowd control and keep him just the mobility and damage because like he is an assassin. He does not need high crowd control or high toughness, especially toughness above all else. Why would you give medium toughness to an assassin? It's just throwing too much on one kit, which I know that's the main League of Legends theme is let's just throw too much on one kit. I know they're doing it with all their reworks and everything, but still, it's just too much. Skins. So we got Sandstorm Ekko. I think, I like the skin. But that's really it. I think it's just like an okay skin. The Academy skins, honestly, I don't really like any of the Academy skins. Yeah, that's really just about it. Is I don't really like any of the Academy skins, so I don't really like Ekko's either. His project skin does look very cool. Obviously, it's very nice. It is a very nice skin, and that's really honestly the main point with it. I just think it does look very very cool, and yeah. SKTT1, it's a good skin. I can't say that it's a bad skin. I don't think it's like perfect, and it annoys me that they're doing whatever reason having all these multiple skins because they already have like their 5 and then this one's a 6. But that's like the only reason. That's the only real annoyance I have with it. But like in general, I do like the skin. I do think it is pretty cool. I think that his SKT one and his Project one are really like his best ones. As I said, I don't really think Academy's all that good, but I think it's an okay skin, but it's really not that good. His Sandstorm skin I'd honestly rank like above Academy, but it's still just like a meh, okay one. And be truthful, I really don't have all that many ideas for him. Uh, like maybe what's the one that I just did on Draven? This one. Like maybe Beast Hunter Ekko. I could see something like that. Why? Honestly, I don't know. I think I can just see him being in like this being like some sort of like a monster being him here, having his clones being on the monster at like 3 different points, have him being in front of the monster in some way with like just like the monster armor on his body, having some decked out monster hourglass type thing. Just like basically think of Monster Hunter the game and then throw it onto Ekko, and that I think could be really the only main skin I can think of him. I can see like a Blood Moon skin on him, but it honestly at that point I'd just be thinking of the yet again like the same gosh darn thing. But like he already has like this skin, which is why I'm saying I think that if they're wanting to do like a Blood Moon skin, they just have it be like this, but less gold and silver, and just throw a lot more like red. But that's it. Honestly, yeah. Tis all that I have for Ekko. So, the overview, he needs to lower his toughness and crowd control. I think that he still should have some slows and potentially a stun, but I don't think he should have so much guaranteed. It's not really guaranteed CC, but just like as much AoE CC as he does, because both of his are AoE. It's an AoE stun and an AoE slow. And then to have as much toughness as he has, plus the survivability, like, I don't think, as I already said, I don't like assassins having a very likelihood chance of diving in and getting out with ease. I prefer it when an assassin like has to really push themselves to get in and get out. And I think that it'd be a lot better for Ekko anyway if, well, for more balanced for Ekko, not better for Ekko, if they made it so that like he doesn't get that shield because that just lets him stay in the fight longer. He's an assassin. He's not supposed to stay in the fight. He's supposed to get in, get out, and nothing more. um so yeah, that's really it. Especially when he already has high mobility, so it's okay, but thank you all very much for watching this A to Z mini rework of my thoughts. And I'm going to be bidding you all adieu. Goodbye.